For years, we were told that female empowerment meant showing women as strong, independent, invincible. And don't get me wrong, this channel is not against female protagonists. On the contrary, this channel exists because of them. The problem is something else. The problem starts when strength turns into an empty message. When a character doesn't live anything, she only demonstrates. For a while now, a poorly understood agenda has been creating perfect women. They don't doubt, they don't fail, they don't face consequences, they don't change, they don't make mistakes. And the worst part is that instead of empowering, this actually dehumanizes them. Ada Wong and Claire Redfield work for a very simple reason. They don't try to convince you that they're strong, they just are, period. There's no speech, there are decisions, and that feels much more real. The problem with empty empowerment isn't strong women. It's women written to tell you they're strong instead of letting you see it, instead of letting you feel it, and that creates disconnection. Interestingly enough, manga and anime have avoided this problem for decades. Empty empowerment. Empty empowerment isn't about having strong female characters. That has always existed. Empty empowerment is when characters only seem strong because the script keeps repeating it. Characters who never doubt, never fail, never lose anything meaningful. They don't go through real conflict. And when there's no conflict, there's no connection. It doesn't matter how powerful a character is. If we never see her suffer, choose, or lose something, she doesn't feel human. And when something isn't human, it doesn't matter. Claire Redfield, strength through empathy. Claire Redfield doesn't enter Resident Evil to be a hero. She's not there to prove anything. She's there because she's looking for her brother. She's scared, she doesn't understand what's happening, she's not a soldier, she's not trained, she doesn't know how to survive an apocalypse, and that's where everything begins. Claire makes mistakes, she gets scared, she could run away, but she stays, she protects Sherry, she makes difficult decisions, she moves forward even when giving up would make sense. Her strength doesn't come from ego or physical power, it comes from care, from connection, from choosing someone else over herself. Claire never says, "I am strong." You see her being strong, and that's why she connects. Ada Wong is something else entirely. She doesn't ask for trust. She doesn't seek approval. She doesn't need to be liked. She's ambiguous. She lies. She manipulates. She uses others to survive. But there's one thing she never loses: her agency. Ada decides. Ada controls. Ada doesn't explain herself. She doesn't represent what's right. She represents autonomy. And that is also well-written female power. Ada isn't there to deliver a message. She's there to exist under her own rules. She never asks for permission. She never justifies herself. She never apologizes for who she is. That makes people uncomfortable, and that's exactly why she works. Two opposite strengths that work. Claire and Ada are opposites. Claire is empathy, connection, humanity. Ada is control, mystery, distance. They don't compete, they don't invalidate each other. They're not trying to be the strongest. Each one lives her strength differently, and that contrast is far more interesting than any character designed to always win. When empowerment doesn't connect. Not every strong female character is well written. The problem isn't power, the problem is humanity. In manga and anime, female strength often feels more natural because it comes from conflict, mistakes, and growth. We can talk about that later if you want. But in many Western productions, empowerment became a slogan, and when the message outweighs the character, what's left is an empty shell. Female characters that don't connect. Captain Marvel in the MCU. She never doubts, she never loses, she never changes. The world adapts to her, she doesn't adapt to the world. The result? Power without an emotional journey. Rey in the Star Wars sequels. She learns everything too fast. She doesn't fail in meaningful ways. Her past doesn't weigh on her. She's written to win, not to grow. She-Hulk in her series, the message comes before the character. She breaks the fourth wall to explain ideas, not emotions. More discourse than experience. Why Claire connects. Claire isn't strong because she wins. She's strong because she chooses to stay. She's scared, she doesn't understand the chaos. She could escape, but she protects Sherry. She makes mistakes, she keeps going. Her power comes from connection, not superiority. Why Ada connects. Ada isn't a moral example, and that's her strength. She lies, she manipulates, she survives. She never asks for permission, she never explains who she is. She has agency, not discourse. The key difference. Characters that don't connect say, "I'm strong because the script says so." Ada and Claire show, "I'm strong because I made difficult choices," and that changes everything. Why do they get shipped? Something interesting is that neither Claire nor Ada were originally meant to be a couple, and yet they work incredibly well together in the audience's imagination. Why does that happen? Because ships aren't born from canon, they're born from tension. Claire represents care, Ada represents distance. When two characters emotionally oppose each other, the viewers start filling in the empty spaces. We don't need to see them together to imagine them together. Contrast creates curiosity, curiosity creates desire, and desire is more powerful than any explicit scene. Well-written women versus women designed to be liked. There's a difference between well-written women and women designed to be liked. The second type is full of cool gestures, but never makes uncomfortable choices. The first type does things we don't always like. Claire is uncomfortable because she exposes herself. Ada is uncomfortable because she explains nothing. A good female character doesn't exist to please. She exists to be coherent with herself, and that's how icons are created. About the illustration. Before continuing, I want to talk briefly about the illustration. This piece is not one of my best works, and that's okay. For some reason, I didn't feel fully comfortable while making it. And the more I progressed, the more I just wanted to finish quickly. Not because I didn't care, but because I was very focused on getting the video done this week, and that pressure turned into stress instead of enjoyment. I also want to clarify something. For this illustration, I didn't use pose references, which I usually do in other videos, so if you notice proportion issues, yes, you're right, a small laugh. That's the price of rushing and trusting memory too much. Even so, I wanted to experiment with color and lighting. I tried working with temperature contrast, cool lights with warmer shadows, and warm lights with cooler shadows. I don't think it turned out exactly how I wanted, but it's an interesting approach and something I want to keep exploring. And if you enjoy this type of content, on Patreon, I share illustrations and material that I can't show here on YouTube, with more freedom and no self-censorship. I mention it because it's part of the same creative process, just in a different space. If you want to support my work and access that exclusive content, you're more than welcome. Empty empowerment wants applause. Good characters just want to exist. That's why we're still talking about Ada Wong and Claire Redfield, and forget many others as soon as the movie ends. This is just my opinion. If you agree or disagree, I'll read you in the comments. You can also leave ideas for future topics, whether from video games, manga, or anime. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, thank you to my Patreons, Revomesis, Joy, Comcom, JPC/Patrick Starfish, SNES88. Thank you truly. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.